whether they want to invade into the task board, right? Or maybe even go greedier and try to go for one of the buffs.
I think they will. With these drafts coming in, locked in, Alpha 7, the first thing to do is to really solve that early game plan that we have pre-discussed here. At the very least for BTR, they have strong side lanes from start to finish, with Neil pulling towards that supportive mid line and allowing all the resources to flow into Zankyu's pockets to be that strong front line, indestructible raid boss.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to deal with.
Alpha 7 needs to protect their jungle in this level 1 skirmish if it happens on the side of BTR.
Yeah. I think it really is going to come back to that. Just protecting your own jungle, keep things on your own side, and then later on, I'm not too worried. I think that with Ysacer and the Loon, I think that you have ways and that you have control, like Princess Frost, to deal with his on Q. He's kind of in that, very linear of an attack.
And Game 3 is on its way here with Alpha 7 and both Bigetron and Vitality leading the pack with 1 Neil each. We will find out who will be leading the score after this game number 3.
That's the saddest part about this series, right? One of these two teams at the end of the day are going to be going home on this one. So again, like this game 3 really will be setting the tone for everything. You want to get to match point early, put the pressure on the enemy.
Okay, we'll see. This 1v1, Nyap as well as Tough Z is going to be very important. At the same time, if you take a look at the mid lane, I feel like both Fury and Neil, they've picked up one of the most mechanically heavy required heroes. One in the Shi and one in the Princess Frost.
Yeah, it's going to be a duel to the death, if you will. I think that but the amount of control and the damage, like it could be team fight winning, so that's why they're difficult, right?
And you also have Ormson, right? Once he lands that Mournful Tempo, it could be a setup for the side of Neil. This is going to be really important.
Yeah, and Ormson, he's going to have to just deal with all that. I mean, he's going to have to provide that vision, right? I think that last game, he was awfully, focused. He had very little impact, I would say, in the team fights. His Umbrella Outburst constantly, he wasn't really hitting them, plus he was being pulled around left and right.
I think it's just the pressure, right? The pressure of the situation is getting to both teams at this point. I mean, with your tournament lives on the line, and then you're not carrying just your team name, you're carrying a region's name, I feel like the pressure is definitely super heavy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, playing on stage at this point, you've got to be a little nervous, right? I mean, that's what makes us human, and what makes this KIC so amazing is that you're able to play this, and the amount of impact that you can have and the pressure of everything that's going on, it's not going to be easy for these guys.
Okay, I really like this. So if you're watching your first time, you're new to HOK, just always take it for granted that your opponents are in the brush.
Oh, yeah, looking for the long way around, finding him, but now ZonQ is going to get away. There's Soaring Green Dragon on top of him, but ZonQ is running away. He's going to be tethered, and he is going to be killed. Danny gets the kill. Ormson now about half-life. Alpha 7, Bilal gets pulled around. Silk Orb, and that's going to be enough, and they get another kill in return, but it's a roamer for the jungle.
Okay, this is a big win for the side of Alpha 7, but only if they don't lose the Crimson buff here that has not been acquired yet by Danny.
And look at how Bigetron are being aggressive. They're looking to take this Crimson Golem away. Neil taking down Fury, and they're going to walk away, and empty-handed as Donnie gets the red.
Okay, he does get it, which is okay, but I think it's a decent trade for BTR, right? And right now, if they're able to put a lot more damage and maybe even get the life of Ysacer here, I think that would be immense batting.
And look at that pressure, right? They're putting it on already. It's 3 minutes into this game. And again, this is a bit of a change of pace, right? Bigetron understanding what Ysacer did to them last game. They want to ensure that he doesn't have the same type of game.
Oh, and look at this, ZonQ going for the damage base. Ogren, this is going to be really helpful in the team fights. BTR, this cut is going to be deep in the team fights.
Yeah, if they want to go, because they know that who's on the outside of Alpha 7 that's really tanky, he can do the damage and just burn through them as opposed to just tanking everything.
Yeah, so this is probably going to be a Dragon Rage itemization, right? I don't think he wants to go for the Blazing Cape just yet. We'll see what that decision is going to be going after this 4-minute mark.
Okay. All right. Alpha 7, on the other hand, I think they've done a good job. Like you were talking about the fact that they need to protect their jungle, they need to defend. I think that they've done a pretty good job of that. But now they actually get the stun onto Danny. They get the pull back with that Silky Imprint, and now pulled yet again. And with that Winners here zoning, it looks like Alpha 7 are going to be walking away.
Okay, perfect timing right now. If the Zan gets a nice shot, Danny could be taken down.
Fury, he's way too far up, and he gets picked off for his troubles. He just wanted to go into the river, and Bigetron making him pay.
Oh, they're going to lose quite a bit here. BTR have seen the Crimson Golem as well.
Oh, Storm Strike on, finding Danny. Crimson Golem is now going to be here. The Razor Cavalry, Niap is showing up, but Tough Z is the tanky boy. And ZonQ, though, he's going to be focused around. He's going to be pushed around. The rogue charge is going to be on point. And Niap is making some serious plays. Danny gets the pick off onto him, and they find Ormson as well. Niap with a double.
That is why you don't give Niap such heroes. Niap actually turns that whole situation around. Yes, they did lose that Tyrant buff into the hands of BTR, but with a kill onto ZonQ, he saves the day once again. This one was a little bit difficult for Niap to maneuver, to be honest, because there were many walls kind of traverse and maneuver around.
Yeah, but eventually he got the perfect one, the double charge back completely out of position and setting it up for 3 kills on your team. That could not have been any better for Alpha 7.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, Zan did try to kind of neutralize the damage, right? So he was actually trying to split push into the bottom T1 on the side of Alpha 7. But unfortunately for him, this does not net too much value. He's only 100 gold above his counterpart, Wisesacer.
Yeah, just a little bit more, I mean, but it's all about them kills. Alpha 7 about 500 gold up at this point, but Alpha 7 finding ways to kind of get on them with this lead. They've actually repelled the assault of Bigetron quite well.
Yeah, this one I think is based on how many towers you're going to be able to take within before the 10-minute mark, right? For now, Alpha 7 has just that one lonesome T1 at the top taken away. BTR still has a very good chance of coming back.
So look at how Niap and Danny, both of those guys are 2-0-2. Really, just like, this is a game that they're like, they must win. And you could feel it, right? The way that they're playing well together, bouncing off each other. And now they're looking to go with that Skyfall, finding Zan. They have the damage, but Zan leaping away with that flash. And Tough Z is going to be left behind a bit. And Neil looking to show up. And Danny going to dodge this whole game for him.
It's showing you the value of the bind as well, right? The more wolves there are, the more opportunities for you to use your bind as well.
But ZonQ is in a bad spot. Conductor Soul's right onto Danny on this point. He actually leaps away. Ormson finding him, and they're going to look like to take him down. But they find Wisesacer first, as well as Danny, and they're going to pull them around. They get Fury as well, and 3 members down, trading away for Tufts.
They committed everyone onto the bottom side of the map, so this needs to be a win for the side of BTR. In fact, they also need to take the T1, which will be taken in quick succession by the side of Zan. Meanwhile, Niap, he has found his target, ZonQ as well as Neil.
Oh, the Soaring Green Dragon and finding ZonQ in a bad spot, but he actually gets the execution on Bilal, but he finally goes down. Niap gets that kill, and it looks like he will ride around.
Okay, Niap, once again, he seems to be this hidden savior for the side of Alpha 7 and BTR. Every single thing that they do, always just silenced by this War Saint.
Yeah, just doing a great job. Niap, I feel like Alpha 7 should really not be taking any sort of fights without Niap nearby to potentially change and alter the team fight.
Yeah, we'll see how this is like. Every single T1 that stands on either side is definitely going to be a deterrent and a great defense, because this game is as tight as it can be.
Yeah, definitely tight as it can be. I mean, this is kind of what we wanted as the viewers back home, right? Like, everybody was wanting to see exactly who would step up in this game 3. Who's going to take advantage? Who's going to get to match point?
All right, let's take a look at that particular moment itself. I mean, Danny itself, was this really the correct decision? He dove so deep, and they did get rid of Tufts, but end of the day, you did not get rid of ZonQ that early on, which then led to the situation which happened where Niap was able finally to try and even out the odds.
Yeah, and Bilal here, I mean, he showed up, but ZonQ was like, all right, free food before I die? Cool, I'll take that. But ZonQ did get picked off. Niap there, I mean, he did kind of trade away Bilal's life for that.
Yeah, and now Wisesacer on his own does have his ultimate to play around.
Yeah, he's going to get on his dragon. Danny's going to cover his retreat as well. He should be fine, but they don't have a bottom T1.
All right,
Skyfall. Finding Zan. Looks like he's going to abort that mission. He's not going to fully commit for this one. And now Bigetron in the enemy jungle, looking for some sort of Crimson. The timer's there. This could potentially open up the door for the Tyrant as well. Instantly deleted Bigetron with some serious damage. Here comes the Skyfall, goes right onto Zan, but he's been pushed away. The Wolves are on top of him as well. Top Z's on the back. He's trying to go for Wisesacer, but now he's been pushed around. Ormson using the Unending Sorrow. Niap looking for the heroic charge, finding Tufts, but Danny pushing back. They get Tough Z, and now the Tyrant about half-life. Alpha 7 don't want to give that up free, but they will. Zan taking that one.
Okay, big win for the side of BTR. At the cost of Tough Z's life, I think it's not that big of a cost for now. They will have their 1,000 gold lead going into the side of BTR. Now the only question is, can they make the map work for them a little more? Because they did just lose the T1 at the bottom.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Niap here. I mean, 4-0-3. He has like a 2K net worth lead over Tough Z. He's just been having an amazing game. The rest of the guys, a little bit of a struggle. Hasn't been great, right? If we're looking at ZonQ, up about 2K over Danny as well, so that's pretty much the difference here.
Then the only person you need to really take care in this fight, it has to be Neil, right? Neil is that winning turnaround condition for the side of BTR. As long as Nyap gets the catch, Neil is the one responsible to stop him, and once you get rid of Nyap, that turnaround condition is not going to be there because Danny is actually behind in farm. ZonQ is 2 levels ahead of this guy.
Yeah, I mean, Danny, more than anything else, his priority is, of course, on Zon. You can see it with the Skyfalls. He's just trying to just harass Zon as much as possible. And then YSacer, maybe he deals with ZonQ in the end. So this is kind of how the team fights have been going thus far.
Yeah, but Omsum is there with the Radiance and the Slow, and also with the heals, right? And Sorrow. And so far, it's been proving to be sufficient in dealing with the attempt by Alpha 7. Now, 10 minutes has arrived, and BTR, they're looking for an opening.
Yeah, Danny just wrapping around, getting a little bit of vision on this one, knowing that ZonQ could potentially just burst this. They have Neil in the wings as well. Zon is waiting in that brush for the go. The Skyfall, they find it right on, try to go on to Neil, and the takeaway by ZonQ on that Tyrant, and Danny is a little bit low. He's gonna be chased down by the Wolves. Neil gets the kill, and they find Nyap as well. It looks like YSacer has to get on this Dragon. He gets on out, but ZonQ chasing it down. And now the infinite fastest, he actually goes forward, wants to go for ZonQ. He does get the pick off, and now YSacer trying to stay alive. Impossible as Bigetron gets the pick, as well as the ace.
Yep, they have nothing to offer on the side of Alpha 7. They can only give their lives at this moment. BTR though, this is a great time to put that structural damage across to the side of Alpha 7.
I mean, Zon survived. He's the one, that damage dealer. That's the one that Alpha 7 need to be scared of because he's the one that's going to take down all the towers.
Yeah, man, there we go. Look at the T2. Immediately taken down. 2 out of 3 available taken down. Alpha 7, this one hurt them quite a bit. And the gold difference is so huge now. 5,000 in advantage to BTR.
Yo, 5,000, that's just a number, man. Alpha 7 can come back. They need to figure out, I mean, no, it's going to be tough, right? They have 0 answers for ZonQ at this point. I mean, Zon has actually been styling on them as well. The way that Bigetron have been moving around, I mean, they've been staying alive more than anything else, and that's a bit of an issue because Alpha 7 want that burst, want to kill somebody and move on, but they can't really do that.
I mean, what BTR is doing is exactly what Alpha 7 wants to do. They want to create space for Zon. They want to create space for YSacer, but it's not going to be happening because Omsum, look at the range of that Tragic Beauty. Look at the range of that Mournful Temple. The stuns and the damage. At the same time, Danny has to commit. That is part of the Nurture kit. You have to be in the middle of the enemies.
Yeah, and I mean, this goes back to that ace, right? Where YSacer actually went in aggressively to get that pick off on the ZonQ. I don't think that that's a good trade. You need to stay alive, but here comes the Skyfall. The Overlord has already been picked up. ZonQ with that Conundrum Souls, he's actually out healing things, but he gets picked off, and Danny is looking to go for this one, but YSacer's been picked as well. Danny continuing on. They find Neil, and they go for Ormson, who's limping away, and they're trying to chase him. They're not able to get him, but TuffZ trying to stick around. He's got the force field suppression, and he's fighting 1 versus 3, but eventually Alpha 7 taking him down.
Yep, Nyap is trying to chase down Omsum. He needs to get this kill right here, right now, because they need to stop the Vanguards as well as Shadow Overload. Omsum runs for his life, but Nyap will not be stopped. The cuts run deep for this one, and BTR have been aced.
Taken down here, Alpha 7 doing such a great job. I mean, their base in the bottom T3 taken for free. I mean, you've traded away an ace for essentially the T3, and you've gotten the T1 mid. Not the greatest of trades for Alpha 7.
Yeah, not the ideal trade here, especially for the side of Alpha 7. They needed much more than that. They need another ace.
I mean, they need, like, how many aces before they win, right? Like, what are we talking about this, boy? Like, I'm running out. I mean, I don't know how many Alpha 7 can do at this point because these team fights are not easy.
Yeah, it's definitely not, right? This initial one, I think if they'd stolen away this Shadow Overlord from the side of BTR, it would have been a completely different story. But this one, this is why YSacer dives in with the Infinite Fastest, right? He got the Dread onto the remaining members on the side of BTR. That helped them out in this fight. But then you get to see TuffZ. This is why Byron is such a scary pick. The more people there are, the more recovery he has as well when he lands his first skill.
Yeah, if he's able to do that damage. I mean, he was like trying to fight 1 versus 3. It was been very tough and awesome if he was able to do it, but just not at that stage at this point. But now, if we're talking about net worth lead, 3K in favor of Bigetron. This is still, I mean, it's Bigetron's game to lose.
Exactly, and I mean, at this point, it's just a pain point. ZonQ, every single time you don't get the kill on this guy, he's gonna turn your fate into nothing.
Yeah, nothing at all. I mean, Bigetron, Ormson still dealing with Niap, and he needs to be a little bit fair. But here comes Sacer, that Flaming Palm, the Unending Sorrow dodging most of this, but now ZonQ is a little bit angry, shows the path of passing, but doesn't want to commit.
They wanted to force out the ultimate by Ormson, right? That's going to deter the BTR from driving a little bit too deep, but there is still potential of a steal from the side of ZonQ.
Yeah, the Skyfall, he wants to go. No, he's going to abort that mission. He does not want to fly into it, but the Tyrant at about half life. ZonQ dealing with Danny, who actually gets the slam dunk on him. And with this Tyrant getting very low, here's a Storm Strike. They find Sacer, they get the pick, and ZonQ getting the Tyrant as well. And Bigetron chasing after him. Fury, no chance. Tough Z will eventually take him down as well. And Bigetron making the action happen with the 2-0 lead on that trade.
Yep, this is great. This is perfect. BTR, one more for the poor Zan with the chase, unable to find the kill. But BTR don't care. They have an open wound at the bottom side of AM7's face.
Yeah, and they're coming in. Tough Z is actually escorting the minion wave down. They're potentially looking to end this one, but Sacer up in about 12 seconds. They're going to have to rush this.
This one is hard.
Yeah, it looks like Danny wants to go, goes for the Skyfall, goes right on top of Zan. He wants to do the damage, but can he do enough? And Zan dashing around, the Soaring Signal keeping him alive, but Danny's going to be picked off on this one. And now Bigetron, they turn this, they get Niap as well, and the Crystal is so low, but Sacer has joined up. The Infinite Fast is on back, and Bigetron might want to go. The Infinite Fast is on aggressivity, and Tough Z will end this game.
Easy game for the side of BTR here. It is an easy decision at the last moment. They had it. They took down all the resources on the side of Alpha 7.
I don't know about easy. Okay, I think that, I mean, the decision to go to the Crystal at the end, probably, that was easy, but I think nothing else was really easy in that one.
Oh no, it was super easy, right? You know, ZonQ came in, make the steals, you know, he made Alpha 7 do what it was.